Right. What is there? So I believe we are streaming at this point. Everyone is going to need to tell me that you can hear us. And if we cannot be heard, then we will try to make the necessary changes that we need to make because, the audio guy is here now. So that's cool.
All
this
right.
is Derek Porter. He's our new audio guy. My name is Sam. So thanks for joining our live feed. And we're here to answer your questions, whatever you'd like. So we'll go ahead and get to it. Well, first of all, give just a basic introduction for yourself, Derek, before any of these questions are answered.
Well, I'm Derek Porter. I was born and raised in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So this was a huge move for me. Never done anything like this before. And I have a wife and 2 twin boys. And I'm all about gaming, video games, and board games too. And I'm happy to be here.
Cool. All right. So here we go. Let's start in with the questions. First one here, Kabuki Kid. She says, Derek, I hear you collect comics. Do you have any Golden Age book or maybe Choice Silver Age books? What are the gems of your collection?
I don't know if I collect comics in that sense. I have a collection of comics that I like. I like to buy, I don't buy single issues because I hate trying to store all those. So I have just the big volume books. So I have Walking Dead and Ultimate Spider-Man when it was good, and Scott Pilgrim, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't collect issues or anything. I have a few New 52 books just as I found out they were canning the whole New 52 thing. But
Okay. I have no idea what that means. All right, so let's see here. Next question says, Derek, where is it? What do you think the biggest change you will bring to the Dice Tower? What will it be, the biggest change?
I think it's mainly going to just be on the technical side, just trying to, improve. I don't want to say necessarily quality, but just maybe efficiency.
Go ahead, say it. Everybody else does. Everybody else does.
That's at least initially. That's kind of the biggest burden I'll be carrying.
Okay, so mainly he's been working on stuff like building a rack for us to take to the different conventions and for us to use here that houses all of our audio equipment and that type of thing, the wireless receivers and that kind of stuff, and that's been giving him a headache. So that's the kind of stuff he's doing right now. He's also working on editing some stuff. We're easing him into that too. So it's been a smooth transition so far, at least here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had a bear with everything else that comes along with moving, but that's it. Okay, cool. Next, Venetius says, what are your favorite games made in countries not commonly associated with the industry? For example, Brazil.
I have to think about that one.
That is definitely a Tom and Z question, guys. Come on. Because I don't look at games that way. I don't.
Yeah, we play fun games.
No, I mean, seriously, I rarely look at where the game is actually published or where it's made. I mean, I'm lucky if I know who designed the game, much less where it was produced. So I truly do not know. Question, Derek, what is your favorite all-time comic?
The Howard and Nestor series that used to run in Nintendo Power.
What?
There was a comic they used to publish in their monthly Nintendo Power magazine, where he would always do they would have some sort of comedy sketch and some hot video game that was, being featured. And And they had some character that was based on Howard Lincoln, who was the president of Nintendo at the time, and I loved those. And I wish they would make like just a big compendium of those, like they do with Calvin and Hobbes. I think that'd be great. But there's probably a whole bunch of legal tape to get stuff.
Can you buy them?
No, probably not. Yeah, I'm sure if you looked hard enough on the internet, you might find some of them. But
yeah. So did they come with something else that you?
Yeah, bought? they were running in their monthly magazine. They used to run.
Oh, in their monthly magazine. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see here. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you, or at least your little avatar there. Let's see here. Hear you loud and clear. Good. Yeah, that does it. Hi from Colorado Springs. Were you in gaming here? Timon says.
Oh, a little bit. I was connected with a local game store and was doing some, I would game. That's where I played like Dice Masters and Star Trek Attack Wing. And I'm fine with X-Wing. It's just at the time, Star Trek Attack Wing was what was available because I jumped on a little too late for X-Wing. So
Gotcha.
There was that first there was that first run they did, and then I couldn't buy it. There were no ships to buy, so I bought Attack Wing instead and played that.
I've got a whole box of stuff that Tom is getting rid of, so I'm going to be going through it. I'll save some of it for you, I guess.
Well, no, I don't know if I'll do much playing down here.
Yeah, what? What's wrong with you?
Aren't you guys all Star Wars guys?
Yes, we are. Yeah, you get rid of that Star Trek stuff. All right, Derek, what is your impression of Florida so far? What is the biggest plus and what is the biggest minus?
The air is really sticky. So living at the Rocky Mountain High, it's really humid, really sticky, which is actually I guess that's the negative thing. The plus side though is now I can just wear shorts all the time.
There you have it. Yep, and I'll tell you what though, you will think that humidity is bad until you go to someplace like Vegas, and then you will understand how good of a thing humidity actually is. Oh my goodness. I usually do not like humidity at all, but I sorely missed it when we were in Vegas. What are you looking forward to most when coming to the UK, and what do you want to visit in London or outside London? Thank you, Luke, for asking that question. I am... the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is meeting everybody that's over there that I've had interactions with on Facebook or that, Twitter or what have you. That's one of the main things I'm really looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to possibly being able to go check out Ground Zero at Games Workshop. That's something that I've really kind of been looking forward to. I don't know exactly all the ins and outs of how that might happen or if it will, but that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. And then other things, I really don't know. Me and Tom are just going to kind of work that out together as far as what I really probably like to go see the Tower of London. Like to go see some of those different kinds of historical type landmarks that are in London. I'd really like to do that, but again, it's just going to be what me and Tom figure out what we're going to do. So any suggestions, let me have it. Let's see here. Derek, what new hotness are you most excited about?
I assume you're probably talking board game related.
Absolutely.
Well, I was really jazzed about the Star Trek Panic thing from Gamma. I saw that. Mm-hmm. And at first I was kind of put off with the whole, hey, let's just keep reskinning a game, but the fact that they kind of keep changing it a little bit, I'd like to see more of that. If we're going to go ahead and start retheming a bunch of games, I like it when they do that kind of thing. Yeah,
that's a cool idea. That's one of the few games that I actually did get to play. I wasn't really feeling very well that night when they had the gaming night, but that was one I was able to get in before I went back to my room, and it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm not even a Star Trek fan. I mean, I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I like it, but not as much as I do Star Wars, and I really enjoy that game. So if you're into Star Wars, you'll probably just drool all over it. All right, Derek says, are you a Kickstarter follower? Is there anything current that excites you on Kickstarter? We were just talking about this.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of Kickstarter. I occasionally check it. I mean, I signed on because I wanted to back the Five Iron Frenzy album a couple years ago, so that was why I created a Kickstarter account. And then I found a couple games here and there that I've been like, oh, that might be kind of fun. But, like, I don't follow it super closely. Yeah, usually 9 times out of 10 when I find out about an awesome Kickstarter, it's like after the campaign's over. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't really follow Kickstarter that much either. I mean, I look at it every once in a while, but I've only backed one project, and so I don't really follow it that much either. Question for Sam. Derek could answer too if he wants to. Did you like the movie God's Not Dead, and did you see part 2? I have seen both of them. And yes, I did like both of them. And I'm might be a spoiler, but looking forward to part 3.
I've seen parts of the first one. I just haven't gotten around to sitting and watching the whole thing, and I haven't seen the second one yet. But I did like what I did see of the first one.
Yeah. The first one was one that I actually showed to. It came out when I was still teaching Bible in a Christian school, and so I showed it to my classes. And we actually took a field trip as a school to go see the first one, and then here just recently, last week I think, we went to take him to go see God's Not Dead Part 2 as well. So having a CDL helps me take part in that kind of stuff for free. So I liked both of them very much. What is the oldest game in your collection, Derek? What is the oldest game that is still great to play?
Like, so not counting chess.
Well, I mean, if that's
probably the oldest game I own technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess newer modern game then.
Yeah.
I guess I'll provide that caveat there.
I think not counting like the classics, like a Clue game or something, but I have 2 copies of the Hero Quest base set.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of rare, isn't it?
Yeah, I had the one that I got as a kid for Christmas, and the box is all torn up from me being a 10-year-old kid at the time.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, a few years ago, I wanted to get some of the expansions on eBay, and I found a deal where I got 2 of them with the base game. So
cool.
Yeah.
So you're the one hoarding copies of Hero Quest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You all know that now.
And so that's probably the same answer for that's still great to play. I mean I know that Hero Quest has a few hangups as far as its combat stuff, but there's very few games that I've played that are quite like that. Some that are good, but like the nostalgia factor is still very, very strong for me.
I still enjoy playing Risk every once in a while. I mean,
I've never played Risk ever. Never.
Okay, well we can...
Just because I've heard there's better board games.
There are. I mean, I still enjoy playing it every once in a while with my kids and stuff like that, although they're getting to the age where they don't really enjoy it that much anymore. They like some of the newer games that are coming out, but then Aiden's 5, he's coming up, so we'll get to that probably in a little while. This is that Derek, do you think a game is not good if it's not reviewed by Tom?
Well, no, I think for myself. In fact, there was like...
Ooh, he thinks for himself.
Yeah, there was one of the yellow games he just put up, like the Little Red Riding Hood. Mm-hmm. That's like those. I loved that game when it first came out, and I feel like, Tom never reviewed it, but I love it. And I actually enjoy the DC deck builder. So
DC deck builder, dude. Oh man, another shocker like that. We're gonna have to shut the feed down. That's disgusting. All right. Anyway, what is your all-time favorite movie?
Right now, I'm saying it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World, because I like it for a lot of different reasons. My favorite movie usually changes from time to time, but I think that's probably like my go-to. Like, if I have to pick one movie that I will say this is my movie. That
will mainly be the one you come back to.
Yeah. More
often than not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at some point the reasons I like Scott Pilgrim, another movie will come along and do better. But I there's so much about that movie that I like, both from the production side and just as a movie fan. And
cool. I would probably have to say my favorite one of all time is probably Saving Private Ryan. And that's the one that would stand out to me overall. But there's a lot of comedy movies that I really enjoy, but that's the one that's probably the one that just kind of gripped me the most. So Saving Private Ryan for me. What are both of you doing for Tabletop Day?
I think I'm following whatever you're doing.
Yeah, more than likely.
Everybody else is gone, right?
Yeah, well, Tom's going to be gone. Tom's going to be gone up at F2Z is bringing Tom up for their Tabletop Day. So myself, Z, and Derek will probably be headed up to the Hollywood Cool Stuff store, and we'll be taking care of events up there. So that's what we'll probably be doing. Is Tom going to get you to do a top 100?
Likely not, because that was actually explicitly in the job description Tom sent me. Was that, in fact, I wasn't supposed to be on camera at all, right?
Cats away, the mice will play.
Yeah, but also the breadth of my gaming experience doesn't really warrant a top 100. It's like it'd be like the top 40 would be games like, oh, I heard that game was good once, you know.
All right, Derek. When you answer my questions, it fulfills the void in my life.
I am here for you.
Wow. That's pretty deep. I've never had a response like that before. This is your first time. I feel slighted. Okay, let's see. It popped down on us again, so let's stream up here a little bit. Let's go over. Oh my goodness. There we go. Were you mainly hired for your audio skills or your ability to interact with Dice Tower drama queens?
Probably a little from column A and a little from column B.
Ooh.
The first time Tom called me on the phone is he said, "We're looking for somebody we think we'll like." and that kind of
that was a joke, by the way.
Yeah,
if there's anybody out there,
yeah, don't mean to throw Tom under the bus.
Yeah, right.
But
let's see. What are your most favorite mechanisms, and what are your least favorite mechanisms?
Well, I know a lot of people are tired of it, but I really do. Despite my performance on the live stream with Rado, I do like social deduction games. I love lots of like hidden roll stuff like that. As far as least favorite mechanic, I don't know. If I didn't like it, I haven't played much of it.
But you got to know you don't like it, though, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what it would be.
I know what mine is. I'll let you think a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Mine is blind auction bidding, where you have to give up your bid even if you don't win. That is my absolute most unliked mechanic, where you have to blind bid and then you flip it over and everybody shows it, and then even if you don't win, you still have to give your money away. I hate that mechanic.
Yeah, okay, I'm on board with that too. Yeah, okay. I'll say the same thing. I every game I play that does that, I never want to play again.
And there are a couple of games that have provided variants where you don't have to do that, where if you don't lose your bid, you don't have to pay. I mean, if you don't win the bid, you don't have to pay. And I always use those variants in those games.
And whatever mechanic Quelf is, hate it.
Whatever mechanic, that entire game?
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah. Good. All right. What is your favorite kind of board game? Well, you just kind of answered that pretty much. Favorite sports teams? Avalanche, the Broncos.
No, I don't really care about sports that much. I mean, as a kid, I grew up following the Broncos because I grew up in Colorado, but I don't really. I watched the Super Bowl for the halftime show.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't do sports. I watch esports.
Man alive. Well, my favorite sports teams are the Chicago Blackhawks, who just lost their first game in the playoffs last night. I know, don't laugh at me, because I will come find you. And I also like the Bears. I also like basketball is my least favorite sport, but I'll go ahead and say I like the Bulls too. And then, of course, the Cubs. I think I already mentioned the Cubs, but anyway. Let's see here. What made you apply for the Dice Tower job? Were you a big fan of the Dice Tower already?
Yeah, I've been following the Dice Tower for since I think 2009, sometime around in there. I needed a steady job, and I just thought, hey, why not? And it's panned out into something more incredible than I thought it ever could be. So, my wife thought I was joking when I told her what was going on. She was like, "Yeah, right. Get you one of your buddies pretending to sending you emails and tweets under Tom's name."
That's funny. How long have you been in the board game hobby, and what game was your gateway, or what got you into board games?
That's I have a hard time answering that question because it kind of depends. Like, I loved board games as a kid. I love Clue. I still do. Like, I know Clue has its problems, but it's like that's the game that I played as a kid that I was like, oh, wow, this is really fun. Mm-hmm. And then when I got Hero Quest for Christmas in the mid-'90s, but I didn't really get into board gaming like modern designer games until about 2009, 2010, when I was just kind of like on a nostalgia trip, and I wanted to figure out like whatever happened to Hero Quest, and I found out it's gone. I was like, there's got to be something out there, so I was researching, and I actually bought a copy of Small World thinking it was something similar. I still like Small World. It was a great game. But then I started doing research, and that's how I found the Dice Tower, and then that Descent is probably the true successor to what Hero Quest is.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll say it's either Clue or Hero Quest, depending on what your entry point would be.
If you had to be in a talent show or David Letterman's Stupid Human Tricks, what would you show everyone?
I don't know. I have to think about that one.
Okay, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. All right, Adam Maliski, make sure you...
Oh, yeah, I know Adam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that you repost that later on. Maybe
good
later
on. Good to see your avatar, man. Yeah. It was like good to see you. I don't see you. Yeah.
My opinion of the Rogue One trailer. It was incredible. I love the perspective that it has taken. The one that really stands out is when they're running out towards the walkers, the Imperial walkers, and it like levels down and pow, fires right at you. Loved that. I think it's great that they're starting other storylines within the Star Wars universe, not having these, having to stick with these iconic characters. They're branching out and making new characters, new stories. And so I really liked it, and I'm really looking forward to Rogue One. What is your favorite novel?
My favorite novel? It's probably one. I don't know if it really counts as a novel because it's a kind of a biography, like an autobiography, but it's like he wrote it like a novel. It's by a man named Gary Skinner, and it's called Plain Vanilla Rapper. It's just a story about him and when he was in prison, and just kind of his testimony and how he walked through that. Great read. Highly recommend it.
Okay, Luke says, question for both of you. Marry, spend one day with, kill, deck building, worker placement, negotiation.
Oh.
So I'm supposing we have to put one of those things on. Okay, so my marry would probably be worker placement. My spend one day with would be deck building, and then my kill would be negotiation.
Yeah, because I kind of like all three of those. I'd probably marry worker placement, spend a day with negotiation, and then if I have to kill one, it'd be deck building. Yeah,
the deck building and negotiation are kind of even Stevens for me because while I like deck building, a lot of that has been done by it, I think, as well. It's just been used too much almost. And the negotiation, never really, I'm not a good negotiator. I either let you walk all over me or I shoot you in the face.
Suppose I should specify, I think the only negotiation game I play or have played is Cosmic Encounter. So if that's negotiation, then I'm about that. But if we're talking like
diplomacy type stuff.
Oh no, No.
Hard pass. Okay. All right. Question for Derek. This is a Star Trek question. Original series, Next Generation, or other?
Next Generation, primarily because that's what I grew up with. I mean, I love the original series. There's some moments of like DS9 and Voyager and Enterprise. I'm like, hey, those are good, but as a series as a whole, I think Next Generation is probably my favorite.
If someone new joins the Dice Tower, what beard options are left for them? You guys seem to have them covered. Yeah, well, yeah, if you put mine with his, then you have a completely bearded person.
Yeah, we call it the Voltron.
Okay, really, you just do whatever you want, really. I mean, I don't think that's a serious question, Jimbo, but there you go. Will we see... I'm thinking that means Derek's collection at some point.
I'm slowly trying to get it up on Board Game Geek. I'm Wigsby on Board Game Geek.
Okay. Can a game be considered good solely because of its mechanic or mechanism? I've heard reviews where the reviewer says, I almost didn't like it, but I loved the mechanism or the mechanic. So can a game be good even if you don't truly enjoy the mechanic? I think might be the heart of what he's trying to say. Or she, sorry.
I think so. There's been some times, like I actually was at a game night not too long ago where somebody brought the Adventure Time Munchkin. And I played a lot of Munchkin when I first got into the hobby, just because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've kind of outgrown it, but they added this thing where you had like special abilities with it, and I thought that was kind of fun. But it's like at the end of the day, it was still that aggravating Munchkin of like bad card pulls and not the game going way too long. But I still thought, yeah, it was a sound game. So yeah, I think it can still be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would kind of depend on the game for me, because if I really don't like the mechanic and there's not a whole lot else going on except for that mechanic that I really don't like, I'm not going to enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. Now, I might be able to kind of disassociate myself from the game and say, yes, that's a good game, it's just not for me.
Yeah, that's usually where I end up.
So, I don't know. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen the other, I guess. But next question says, what is the most valuable game in your collection? Also, what is your holy grail game?
Well, I guess that sounds like my copy of Hero Quest might be the most valuable game in my collection. As far as Holy Grail game, I don't know. Like I said, I've kind of gotten over, like, if I can't find a game, it's like, oh, well, there's plenty of other great games out there, so I don't really, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think about the Magic the Gathering board game? Have you played that one?
I have not played it. Neither have I played HeroScape. But obviously I've seen like your guys' reviews and live plays, and it's something I would probably never buy for myself, but I would be happy to play if it's available.
Cool.
So,
do you have enough editing prowess to make Jason a better singer?
No.
I don't think.
But I have thought about trying to do a supercut at some point. Just start saving every time he tries.
Yes, that might be good.
And then throw it in auto-tune and see what I can come up with.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, this is a little bit of a personal question, but that's okay. It said, Sam, how do you feel about the gray in your beard? I just say I'm good with it.
It's a badge. You've earned it.
That's right. It's a badge of honor. So I'm strolling back up now to see. Oh, Z apparently has joined the conversation, on the comments at least. Let's see. Well, I do. Nora says that you appreciate that I don't filter questions. I do filter some of them, but I do want to try to get as many as possible. Z, you're not even a cat, dude. You're one of the mice. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Derek, what is your biggest hobby outside of board gaming?
Well, if video games isn't an acceptable answer, then I'd probably say music and production.
Music and production.
Yeah. Okay. I'm nothing fantastic, but I do enjoy it.
We helped him move into his house, and the dude has like 15,000 guitars. That's an exaggeration, of course.
It's 4, and one of them is my wife's.
Okay.
But
one of them a bass? One of them.
Yeah, I had a bass, okay. And then there was an accordion and a ukulele and a keyboard.
See, That provides a little bit of a window because all of them were in cases, so I was able to tell it was a base without seeing it. They're just a little bit heavier than everybody else, all the other ones. All right. Let's see. What type of expansions would you add to... Okay, that seems like it's connected to something else, so we won't add that one. Sorry, Kevin. Re-ask that question if you could. Let's see here. Go Blues. I'm going to kick you off. I'm just kidding.
Blue's great color.
Says the person who is not a sports aficionado. All right, are you... So it's directed at you. Are you Tom, Sam, Z, or maybe a Jason type? So,
so I have to...
Which one of these are you, I guess, do you consider yourself more closely associated with?
Well, I definitely got the awkward aura of a Jason, for sure. And probably the sharp wit of a Z. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's my guess.
All right, so a G. Jason Z or a Zason.
Yeah. Or Garcerine or whatever.
Garcerine. That's better. That is better. Maybe Derek can turn Sam into a Trekkie. Nope.
No.
Not gonna happen.
I've learned as a Trekkie my whole life, it's not good for anyone to try to force it on them. Because they always will just say, it's like Star Wars but more boring. And they'll never shake that.
That's pretty true. All right. What do you look for in an Old West themed board game?
I haven't played a whole lot of them, actually. I think the only one I own is Bang the Dice game. But basically anything that lets us start dropping Western movie quotes.
Okay. Can you? This is for me. Can you tell the story of how and why you moved to Korea? Well, the timeline was basically this. Tom and Laura and their family at that time moved to help Laura's father run his language institute in Korea, in Gunsan. And so we kept in contact with them. We let them, we still talk to them regularly. We still flopped emails with them, that type of stuff. And he kept telling me how much they need teachers that are degreed and are able to, get along with the kids well and that type of stuff. And so upon graduation, I didn't really have anything lined up. And so we went ahead and started the process about 6 months before I graduated of applying and seeing if we could get out there and that type of thing. And everything just kind of fell into place as we were going through there. So that's kind of the story. We moved out there to with a missionary mindset, although we didn't consider ourselves missionaries at that point because we were being paid a salary by the place, and there was no real support or anything like that, from monetary support at least. So that was how we went over there, and why we went over there was to teach English and Bible to Korean national kids. Let's see here. Let's see. Sam, are you a Trekkie? No. I always have preferred Star Wars to Star Trek, although I do enjoy Star Trek. I just think that I like Star Wars better. No, I have not taken over the Dice Tower. I am just filling in. Fantasy, sci-fi, horror, etc. What is your favorite genre for games and movies?
I never get sick of fantasy. I know a lot of people get tired of it, but even like generic fantasy is fine. I think it's just because I played World of Warcraft for a lot of years, and so I really enjoy just kind of that world.
Right. Okay. Cool. For me, it's probably a cross between fantasy and sci-fi. I don't really like horror that much, although I do like things like Tannhäuser with the Hellboy type universe. I like that kind of stuff. Mainly, I would probably imagine simply because of the tie-in with World War II, World War One. But probably it's a tie between fantasy sci-fi. Let's see, what is your favorite co-op game, Derek?
Off the cuff, I will say probably Castle Panic or Forbidden Desert. One of those two. It's kind of a toss-up between those.
Castle Panic, Forbidden Desert. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, it did it again! Stupid! All right, let's see here. Tube amps or solid state?
Oh, tube amps if you can. Yeah.
I think it's what you prefer.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite guitar pickup?
I'm not that technically versed with guitars. I have a Fender Blues Deluxe and a Japanese Strat, or not Japanese. It might be Mexican. That's what I have. I haven't played regularly in a long time, so I'm kind of behind on what's hot as far as guitars right now.
Yeah, I've never gotten so far into guitars that I actually tried to piece together my own guitar or use buy new pieces for I've always just used the guitar as it was purchased. I have an Ibanez electric that I play with every once in a while, and then I have a Fender acoustic that I play more often because I lead worship at church every once in a while with it and that type of thing. So yeah, I'm kind of like you.
Yeah, I was doing pro audio for a lot of years, and so I was paying attention to what kind of amps are out and what they're supposed to sound like coming through a PA. But outside of that, I haven't really kept up.
Okay, next question from Scott says, have either of you ever played a game that you disliked simply due to the people you played with, but later found that you enjoyed it with a different crew? And if so, what was that game?
Resistance.
Really?
Yeah, because that game with Jason, I hated that game so much in that moment.
Oh my goodness.
But again, it's just because I'm the new guy, and so it was very extreme social situation.
That was one of my more memorable experiences. I mean, positive memorable experiences. I knew exactly what Jason was doing because he and I were on the same team. And so it didn't, I mean, everybody else, it really kind of made them feel awkward at the table because they didn't really have a clue. But I knew we were on the same team, so I knew he was just pushing the envelope there. So
I thought you all were just messing with me. I thought everybody was in on it because I was like, this is insane.
Let's see here. What is your most common Chick-fil-A order?
Oh, spicy chicken and a 12-count nugget.
Wow, that was fast.
Oh, Moats, you know.
I was about to. Oh, this is his.
Yeah, I know him. We used to work together. Yeah.
All right. I do not filter you all of the time. Family Showdown. Stop lying. Let's see here. I don't go to Chick-fil-A enough. So because
the nearest one's
there's
in
not
Miami.
one down here. The nearest one is up north at Kendall. So
that is something I'm definitely going to have to make friends with.
Will you and Tom start a hat club?
I only have like 4 hats, so I would love to have more, but
okay. Let's see here. If we are talking good teams, then go Man U, Manchester United. That was a very good statement there, Luke. Thank you. Let's see here. Favorite. Well, let's go with this one first. What is your quest? And what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue, and my quest is to protect John Connor.
Is this an inside joke?
No, I'm just making crap.
Okay.
I don't really have a quest right now. Is to get my house unpacked.
Yes, that is a huge thing, and man, is you're hitting like roadblocks at every turn almost.
Yeah. I haven't got to see the Rogue One trailer because I haven't had internet.
But you have it now.
I do have it now. Yes,
okay,
as
so
of yesterday.
when he gets home tonight, that's the first thing he's going to do. You know why? Because it's Star Wars. All right, so let's see. Favorite rock music or favorite bands? or favorite bands?
Oh, okay. I love, like I said, I kind of have bands, and I have, I'm being totally serious. I like They Might Be Giants, Bare Naked Ladies, and Spock's Beard. And I have a playlist on my phone that's called Spock Might Be Naked, and I listen to those three bands. Spock's Beard, They Might Be Giants, Bare Naked Ladies, my favorite bands of all time.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see here. Now that we see more of the new Colosseum, what is your opinion of the components and art? I am glad that it is being reprinted. I need to say that right off the bat, because it's a great game that needed to be reprinted. I will not be getting rid of my old copy, if that makes any sense, if that answers your question. I am very glad that Tasty Minstrel is reprinting it. I don't like the design choice that they've gone with. I think the board looks good, but the little meeples and everything like that, I don't like those at all, very much, hardly. But the fact that they have not really changed the game, it is just simply a straight reprint, that deserves major props, because it deserves to be reprinted, and it should have been reprinted a long time ago. So hopefully that answers your question. Question, Derek, what is your opinion on Gale Force 9 games, especially Spartacus?
I'm not familiar with a lot of their stuff. I don't know if I even have any of their stuff.
They do a lot of the TV IP games.
Oh.
Like they did Homeland, they did Sons of Anarchy, they did...
I haven't
Spartacus.
played any of those,
Okay.
so I don't really have an opinion on that.
All right. Let's see.
There it goes. Yeah.
We might be pretty close to the end, though. Let's see. Maybe not. All right. Let's... in the interest of fairness, I feel someone should mention Farscape. It's not a question, Trevin. Why did you put the word question in front of a non-question? But I guess you accomplished your nefarious goal. Okay, that's where we stopped. Yeah. And hey, all right, that was good. All right, let's see here. What shows will you be working on?
As like I said, Tom isn't here, and so we haven't had a chance to talk a lot of details. But what we have touched on is I'll probably be tackling. I don't have a timetable on it, but I'll probably be tackling breakfast and top tens, and probably a large chunk of Tom's reviews, if not eventually all of them.
Mm-hmm. So that Tom
initially I think the plan is for me to try to relieve as much editing off of Tom as possible. That's kind of the phase one.
Yeah, and part of the reason for that is not just because Tom wants to do less and less and less. If you know anything about Tom, that's definitely not the case. Because we talked about it a little bit, and myself, I was apprehensive of giving my videos over to somebody, because I usually, I'm always catching myself making mistakes and having to restart and do this, and it would be a headache for somebody to edit my videos. Whereas with me, I can remember what I did, and I can remember, okay, well, I need to go halfway through this, and I don't even need to think about it. So that's kind of the thing. Z and I will, at the first at least, continue just editing our own stuff, I think, and then he's going to be tackling a lot of the other projects and freeing us up to do other things and freeing Tom up to do some stuff. So what is the definitive snack for board gaming?
I'm with Tom on this one. I think pretzels is the best.
Pretzels.
Especially since right before I left, we had 2 spills during a game of Cosmic Encounter trying to dry out cards.
Oh.
Yeah. It's anything that's not greasy, and pretzels is, I think, the best you can do. If you got to eat while you're gaming.
At least you didn't say cheese puffs.
No.
Yeah. Pretzels are definitely the best.
I can't remember what game it was, but there was one game that I actually got, I took somewhere and somebody was eating Cheetos, and the cards smelled like that nasty powdered cheese. I actually threw the game away. I was like, I don't even know if I want this anymore.
You threw a game away because it smelled like cheese puffs?
I think it was some variant of Munchkin, to be honest. But,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but it's like that card stank.
Cards stink. Okay. All right. Let's see. We just skip down again. All right. Okay. The favorite color in the quest is the Monty Python reference.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
I was not.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
Oh, I thought you.
Oh, I do love Monty Python. I don't remember
Didn't register, huh?
everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it just didn't register. Yeah. Let's see. Question: what is the? Okay, now this one I
African
know.
or European?
Yes, exactly. Okay, that one I know. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Scrolling. Through the Ages. Have you ever played Through the Ages?
I have not.
Okay. Far State rocks. Robert, you have the right to be wrong. Sam, I know you're a big fan of historical games. Have you gotten a chance to play 13 Days, the Cuban Missile Crisis from Jolly Roger Games? No, I have not. And that's probably one of the... that's one of the... I'm not going to say few because there's so much of it, but that's one of the parts of history that I'm not entirely savvy on anyway. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like the game, but I have not yet played it. So, question for Sam: what have you seen the Warfighter World War II Kickstarter? What are your thoughts on it? I have not seen it. I'll look it up. Warfighter Kickstarter. Let's see what pulls up. Warfighter Tactical Special Forces card game. Okay.
Oh,
Let's look at the campaign.
so I think looks like it's already done.
No, yeah, this is the original.
Okay.
There's a wave 2 coming out. Huh. Interesting, I guess. I'm not. Card games are not my favorite genre, so the fact that it's a card game is. I guess there's minis in it too. And there's card play. I'll have to look into it. I've not seen it before, so thanks for the heads up. Derek, will you, let me get back to it. Do you go to conventions? That's the first question.
I have not been to any gaming conventions. I did try to go to Dice Tower Con one year, but I missed it's sold out in in minutes. Outside of that, went to my first con in 2013. Me and my wife went to Denver Comic Con, and then I've been to BlizzCon once, and a few other small cons, but
none of the big ones.
yeah, like this will be my first Origins and Gen Con this year.
What is your favorite convention? My favorite convention is probably Dice Tower Con, with a very close second with Origins. Mainly is because I guess those are the ones that I've been to the most and I'm most comfortable at them. But I really enjoy the cadre of people that those two bring in. It just seems like just has a little bit more of a down home feel to it, I guess you could say. So those are my two favorites. Are you a fan of the Dresden Files book series? And either way, are you excited for the release of the new game?
I am not familiar with that. So
I never read the books. I did watch the TV series on its brief little jaunt. So, and I did enjoy the TV series, although I never read the books. And the new game that's coming out looks like it could be either here nor there for me. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see after I play it. Cheetos at the table can actually work if you wipe your hand after each one. And therein lies the problem. because everyone knows when you eat Cheetos, part of the goodness of eating Cheetos is when you're done with the bag, you have your fingers left, and you can lick your fingers off. So, I mean, that defeats the purpose. And then wiping them? No, you gotta lick them. You gotta get all that cheese off your fingers, man.
And this is just, I guess, just because of my background, but it's like I usually don't have like this huge table space to play on, so I'm like, I'd rather not eat and play because then that's precious table space.
That is true. Yes. All right. Gee whiz, I hate it when he does that. We're gonna skip that one. Let's see. Have you tried Liberty or Death, the American Insurrection, or any other games in the Coin series? I have not. Sam, can you tell us anything about your new Dice Tower variety show, Throat Punch Lunch?
Well played.
I will definitely keep that name in the queue because that's pretty cool. Have you ever tried Up Front? It's a great cardboard game. No, I have not. That I recall. So, anyone coming to the Indianapolis Comic Con? Not that I know of. Not from here, at least. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people there. Just not from the Dice Tower. Derek, you moved to Homestead from?
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Wow.
So high and dry to...
That's a beautiful area, though, isn't it?
It is, but we had some wildfires ravage across the mountain range, and so it's definitely not as pretty as it was. It's still nice, but it'll be hundreds of years before it looks like it did.
Okay. Let's see here. What happened to Derek Korea? I was hoping he would show up sometime again. Interesting.
I do not understand the question.
Don't either. How did you get into football, soccer, and do you watch many United games? I don't actually watch a lot of games. I monitor the stats and highlights and that type of thing because I don't have the cable TV package that includes all of the soccer channels. I used to, but I cut it back because my family rarely watches cable TV anymore. We're usually watching Hulu, Amazon Prime, or Netflix, and so those are the things that we mainly have. I have basic cable that just gives the local stations and that type of stuff. So I don't get to watch it very often, but I got into soccer. I played soccer when I was a kid in youth leagues on base. My dad was in the Air Force, and so I kind of grew up with it there. But more recently, I started coaching soccer. Joe Stedman, former co-host of the Dice Tower, he was the soccer coach of the team when I moved up to Weejungbu, and when I started helping as his assistant my first year there, and then I think I did 2 years that way, and then the third year was myself. And then for another 3 or 4 years after that. And then when I came here, I coached soccer as well for our school here in Homestead. So that's how I got into it. That's how I've been into it. Just to really, if you've lived in Korea, you cannot not get bit by the soccer bug. I mean, it is huge in Korea. So that was probably the main catalyst there.
I played Mega Man Soccer on Super Nintendo. That's about all I got.
This kid, Mega Man Soccer, man. All right, Cheetos and Chopsticks.
Oh, that's a great band name.
Okay. What's the longest board game you've ever played?
Like that's traditionally it's known for being long.
No, just the longest.
Well, I think it's because we decided to try to squeeze in more players than you're supposed to. We once played a game of Zombie Flux that went for 3 hours. I'm not joking. I don't know how it happened, but we were all pretty sick of Flux after that. Yeah. Tried to...
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try that.
No, I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably the longest I've ever been
You played
sitting.
a game of Flux for 3 hours?
We thought it was like, oh, sure, it's good. Because Flux always feels like it's almost over.
That's the hook.
Yeah.
It won't take very long at all.
Yeah.
3 hours later.
Yeah. But Yeah.
Okay, so the longest game that Derek has ever played, I'm just clarifying, is Flux.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's see. Any war games coming out? Not that I know of, but that doesn't mean very much. Let's see. Will Derek be able to retrieve the lost video of top 10 games of 2015 that Tom deleted by mistake?
Probably not.
That's long gone. long gone. Okay, here we go. Trevin, all right, we'll come back to it. Battlestar Galactica or Stargate, which one's better?
I don't really follow either of them.
Battlestar Galactica is by far better than Stargate, in my opinion. My humble opinion. Let's see. Which Time Stories module is the best, I guess, was what they're asking. I like A Prophecy of Dragons the best so far. But I really like how they have kind of... It's very clear how it's... I think it's very clear that they're made in a specific order, so you have to play them in a specific order.
Yeah, I did really enjoy the Marcy case.
Yeah.
I just don't know when I will play Prophecy of Dragons because obviously my group that I was playing with is back in Colorado.
Yeah, we've already played it here.
And there's no way to make that on Tabletop Simulator without spoiling the game.
True.
So.
Well, there might be... I know that a group...
Unless somebody else is willing to do it for me.
Well, last Thursday, a group was playing Marcy Case in our gaming group. The Thursday night up at Tom's church. And a group, 3 guys were playing Marcy Case. So they might be getting ready to play Prophecy of Dragons. So we'll get them in touch with you pretty quick. Get you on board. All right, do you prefer Roll for the Galaxy or Race for the Galaxy?
I have not played either.
Ooh. I
suppose I should probably, before all those games questions roll in, I should probably specify, my gaming experience doesn't hold a candle to these guys. I was a big fish in a small pond gaming-wise in Colorado. Like, I was the game guy, but my collection's probably, 70, 80 games.
Only 70 to 80.
As opposed to the Great Wall of...
Well, even that has faced many cullings. So, no, I think you like card games.
Yeah.
Better than dice games?
With dice games, it kind of depends on the crowd I'm playing with, usually,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you probably like Race for the Galaxy better. I like Roll for the Galaxy better. But have you ever been out of the country, Derek?
Barely. When I was in high school, I took a missions trip to Juarez, Mexico, so...
That's out of the country, come on.
But it's literally just the other side of the border.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's still out of the country. Let's see. Let's see here. Is there it did it again.
Yeah. It really is as bad as Tom makes it sound to be with the comments
Yes,
jumping, yeah.
All right. Stupid Human Trick. You've had time to...
Stupid Human Trick.
He's coming back at you.
Yeah. I could probably... I won't do it here because there's just not enough space. And I'll knock things over. But I could probably do the shaking... Or the shaking tree dance that David Byrne does in the Talking Heads Stop Making Sense rock concert video.
That was a lot of specifiers.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy or girl?
I do not.
Why are they asking to see a picture of your wife?
Well, I don't have a picture of my wife in my wallet. Because I carry phone now.
Ooh. That's right, kids. Join us in the new age. Let's see here. All right, just a couple more minutes. Let's see. Sam, have you played Robinson Crusoe yet? Surely, after the Kickstarter stretch goal, you must have by now. No, I have not by now because we are actually saving that for a very special occurrence, which is actually pretty cool. There'll be more info on that as we go out later on, but we're actually going to stream that play, I believe. It's going to be a part of one of our live playthroughs. So not yet, but you will know when I have. Derek needs to play TI3. That is correct.
I've been willing to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, because then we can get that Flux game off of your longest game played.
I'm sure. Well, now that I think about it, there might have been an Axis and Allies game that went longer than that.
Okay, yeah. That could very possibly be. Let's see here. Okay, just a couple more questions. Then we got to get going. It's been an hour, so let's see. Any games you haven't been able to finish even one game of? There are a lot of those because we play a lot of games that we play 2-3 turns sometimes, maybe halfway through, and we're like, we're good. I'm done.
I think the only game that I ever started and didn't finish, and it's not because I didn't like it, it's because other people in the group weren't into it, but when I first got Dead of Winter, I took it to my game group. We didn't finish that game because other people just didn't care for it. But
Okay.
I liked it, but...
Cool. All right, question. Dracula X or Symphony of the Night?
Dracula X is the one that I've played. I've never played Symphony of the Night just because I was a Nintendo kid, so I didn't have a PlayStation growing up. Symphony of the Night is definitely on my games I must play, my bucket list games.
And as a new board, just two more. I'm going to put the cap on it. Two more. As a new board gamer, which of these racing games would you suggest, Jamaica or Formula D?
Well, I haven't played Formula D, but I do really like Jamaica.
Yeah. It depends on the group that you're with, I think. Jamaica has a definite piratey feel to it, and it is a racing game, but it's more of a piratey racing game, whereas Formula D is a racing game. That part of the coolness factor of Formula D is all the different tracks that you can play on, and it's definitely a car racing game. Whereas Jamaica, it is a racing game, but it's more like a piratey, fun, cartoony type racing game than an actual racing quote unquote simulation, I guess you could say. So it kind of depends on what you're really looking for. My favorite out of those two is definitely Jamaica. But again, it's if you're looking for an actual racing game, probably Formula D would be better. Will you go to Essenspiel this year? It's probably directed at you.
Don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going, and I know Tom and Z and are both going as well. So. Don't know as far as that's really a Tom question because he's the one in charge of ultimately deciding who goes and all that kind of stuff. But okay, Sam, Sarah, let's go Blues. That's twice now, buddy. That's twice. But I get it. You're from St. Louis, so you got to go for your hometown. So that's cool. All right. Respectful rivalry there going. Okay. Eclipse or Exodus or TI3?
Well, I haven't played any of them, so I'm more interested in TI3.
Oh, yes! All right, cool. All right, well, that's it. We're going to shut down the feed now. We've been on for a little bit over an hour, so that is it. I wanted to basically just, invite Derek on here and get his face out to all you guys so that if you see him around at conventions or what have you, you know who he is, and let you find out a little bit more about him. So hopefully you've enjoyed this time. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you on the flip side, folks.
Chopsticks and Cheetos.
Chopsticks and Cheetos. You can keep talking because it's going to take a while for me to shut this down anyway. So we're going to shut this down.